Good evening, everybody. It's Wilderness We Live. Magnus over there. I'm over here. How's it going, everybody? Okay, so today our topic is healthcare for all. And don't forget, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Okay, so Magnus, we may have had this conversation before. I don't know, but it's worth having again. It always seems like it's in the news. Universal healthcare. Universal healthcare in America is one of maybe a handful, maybe 3 or 4 countries, maybe less, that doesn't have universal coverage for a major first world country. Every other major country on earth, any world power, your China, your India, most of the countries in Europe, they have universal healthcare coverage for all of its citizens and people. And America, we're supposed to be so powerful and so rich and so rich and so powerful and so rich. I don't know. We can't cover everybody. I don't know. So I want to talk about that. And, you have a unique vantage point because, you come from another country. I'm immigrant. My family are immigrants from another country. And I'm advocating that we should have healthcare for all. And I want your opinion on this. And I'm not saying it because I'm jealous because I don't have healthcare. I have healthcare. It's no sweat off my ass, but I think it's not fair that we are a world power and we have hundreds of billions of dollars to give to this country and that country and this country and that country, but we don't have money for ourselves. And people say, "Oh, well, we'll bank. It's too expensive." Listen, we're already in debt, and we're never getting out of this debt. We're trillions into debt. It doesn't matter at this point. So if we're going to go more broke, let's go more broke for our people, not giving billions to this country, billions to that country, billions to this country. Like, let's, so not to gobble up too much time here, but okay, before I get into my second point, Magnus, what do you think of this? Healthcare coverage for all. Is it a good idea, a bad idea? Do you like it? You've had it in where you come from, right? In your
Yeah. No, so in Sweden and most of Scandinavia and Europe, of course, is we have healthcare,
right,
and coverage for everybody, including like dental and often even like eye health and everything too. So it's awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's tremendous to have
right.
it. The thing that, like, if you look at it at a bigger picture, is that if a lot of people are sick or people actually come in and at work and sick and it spreads and more people get sick, right? The amount of money in production you lose from people being sick or showing up at work because they have to work when they're being sick is something that people have a tendency to forget. And it's huge. And it's the same thing. If healthcare can produce a better life quality and that we're able to be productive into a really high age, I mean, that's a good thing if you ask me. And I think that a lot of people that are into world economy and things like that would probably say the same thing.
Right.
Can it be done?
Of course.
To be honest, I don't know. I honestly wish it could, and I think that, like, because Sweden and the United States are very different countries when it comes to that, like size, how society works, history, economy, and all that. But I think that one of the things that I think that we have kind of figured out a little bit is that money is not everything in life.
Yeah. And by the way, you mentioned in countries that, and some critics might say, well, Sweden's a smaller country than America. America, we got to go bigger. It's a lot harder because we're bigger. Okay, well, India is bigger than America by 4 times. China's bigger than America by almost 5 times. They have universal health care. So it doesn't matter. Smaller countries have universal health care and bigger countries have universal health care. Yeah. By the way, you mentioned a good point, and that is, loss of production. If somebody comes to work sick, they're going to spread it. My thing is, the guy at the diner making your food, he's got 3 jobs, but he can't get a full-time job, and he makes a little bit of money, and so he doesn't make such a low income that he gets free healthcare, and he doesn't make so much money that he could buy it on his own, and he doesn't work for any employer that he can get healthcare from. So he's stuck, this guy making your food in the diner. So he's got to come to work. He sneezes in your food because he has to go to work. And he doesn't have healthcare. Guess what? You and your children are getting sick at the diner. Now, if he had universal healthcare, he is not as sick because he's on Zithromax or amoxicillin, some kind of antibiotic, and he's not sneezing all over the place. So literally, that's how it works. And so you're right. You don't spread these germs and disease as much. So it really benefits all of us. It's not just that person. I get the benefit because you and I and everyone else watching this, we don't have to get sick from the guy or the girl sneezing in the diner making our food,
Yeah.
So it helps everyone. That's why I think we should get it, number one. And then, the other thing is, I think we will get it here in America, Magnus, because actually people don't realize this. We're very close to having universal health care because, number one, if you're a billionaire, you got health care. Number two, if you have $0 and you're a bum, you have free health care. And if you also, with the Affordable Health Care Act, aka Obamacare, now most people, not all, but most can get some type of affordable health care coverage. So we're talking about a slice of America, actually. And then you have Medicaid, Medicare if you're over 65. So we have most of the big chunks covered. So really, it's not that most of America is covered. We're just really kind of fighting over this slice of people, these people who are 1099 gig workers, and they work really hard and they're not lazy, but they have to pay for their own insurance. And I have fallen into that over the course of my life. I've had no insurance. I've had the best insurance. I've had the worst insurance. So it's not about people being lazy, but it's just a slice of America. So they really just have to close the gap because most of America is covered. So it's not like it's a big heave ho. It's not a big lift, actually. It's not a heavy lift. So I don't know why people have a stick up their ass about this, but because we're almost there anyways.
But Anthony, it's something that you see again. It's dividing people into camps. Again, it's the thing is they put a lot of, how should I say it, a lot of unrelated information or connections to it that why people don't like, that usually against it.
Right.
So pro con. And I think that's a little bit sad. I mean, because you kind of explained it that most people are already there. It's just that like let's do the final push to get it. And of course, everybody has an opinion and might see it from a completely different perspective. But I think it's better for most citizens that like to have it, because like it's a big burden off people's shoulders. And the worst thing that what people also don't understand is like the most dangerous people in the world are desperate people.
Of course, right.
So you never know. I mean, if you push comes to shove, like you're trying to save your loved one or something like that,
right?
People can go very, very far to try to achieve that.
And they do that
I'm
here.
not saying that it doesn't have to be in that you're doing something positive, that you're actually doing something negative that could affect other people.
And also, people lose their homes here because they have to go into debt to pay for operations and stuff. People go homeless. I mean, because and they're not lazy people. They have jobs and stuff, but they just can't get full coverage or whatever the reason is, because they make a little bit too much money, but they don't make a ton of money. They fall in that middle crack. And so, but I think that also, reforms like, I think they're passing this law now, actually, where the United States government, will be able to haggle prices with the pharmaceutical companies. And that's a new thing, because America, we never have done that before. Other countries do. They haggle prices with pharmaceutical companies, but America is not allowed to. I wonder why. They probably have lobbyists there fighting against that, but that's going to change. It's a good thing to bring the cost of drugs down. And also, I think, which is not going to happen, but if we can shop across state lines for health insurance, we're not allowed to do that in America. I thought we're supposed to be this capitalist, great free economy, and it's kind of like they handcuff you. So, anyways, we have 30 seconds left, Magnus. Take it away. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, again, from a person that comes from a country that has it, like I think it's great, and I hope like it's just also like it's also to understand that a life is more important than just money too. So because you can't set a price on a person's life. So I mean,
Yeah.
I wish that everybody could have it and be protected, because I think it's a really positive thing.
Right. By the way, I know we went a little over here, but so it's the same thing with the fire department. Okay, in America, in the late 1800s and early 1900s, you had to buy a fire subscription or fire insurance. That's why they used to. That's why they call it fire companies. They were private firms that would put out your house fire. Okay, and if you didn't have the placard in front of your house, they would let your house burn.
Yep.
They didn't care. That's America. That's
Yeah.
America. Okay, so what they finally caught on with common friggin' sense over, it took a couple hundred years, but they figured, oh, wait a second, maybe we should put the fires out whether you pay taxes or not, because if the other house catches on fire, that's not good. And then the other house catches on fire, and then the other house catches on fire. So if we can just put out the fire right away, whether you pay taxes or not, it benefits everyone. And that's the argument for universal health care. If I am not sick or as sick, now you don't get sick and your children don't get sick because I'm not sneezing. I am not in bad shape. Or I might only have a little bit of a cold, not a massive cold, but I got to go to work. So I got to sneeze around, then I got to rub my eyes, and now I'm handling food. And now, now you're sick. So it's the same premise as the fire department. And now we have a universal fire care. Everyone gets their fire put out, whether you pay taxes or not. And that's how it should be here with universal health care, because the fire department is a form of health care, life and death. And so is health coverage, Anyways, all right, that's it. So that's it. You're good, man. Anything else?
We're good. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune back in. We got another show coming up. What's better, private or public schools? Check in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're out of here, everybody.